morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Remote STEM class. Mr. Dowd here. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Monday. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend, because I did. Anyways, we're about to finish this up. So we have 4 more places to go. So that way we'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, finish up the national parks. And on Friday, we're going to start 3D modeling which park or which location we want to do. Okay? So we did Virgin Islands on Friday, so we're going to start with Wind Cave National Park. Now, this is one of the few national parks here that I actually haven't heard of. So this one's in South Dakota. So our first location is Elk Mountain Trail. It's wildflowers line this 8.2-kilometer trail, which passes a campsite and offers scenic grassland views. Yeah, it's got some nice rolling hills, like what's that movie? Old Yeller? Little House on the Prairie, stuff like that. It's also a short one. There's only 4 locations, and I guarantee you one of them is the visitor center. Number 2 on this list is the Rankin Ridge Trail. It's a 1-mile loop trail through the Ponderosa Pine Forest with Black Hills views along the way. That's a nice little looks like man-made. Yeah, man-made little staircase through. Got some nice picturesque areas, but I don't think it's South Dakota. Yeah, it's pretty mountainous. I think the northern side of South Dakota is mountainous, I think. I need to brush up on my geography. Number 3 is the Rankin Ridge Lookout Tower. So it's a watchtower built in 1956. That's actually the year my dad was born. It's standing at one of the park's highest points, offering panoramic views. So you'll be able to see a 360-degree view of the place, of the national park. But even without being up there, it looks pretty beautiful to me. And last but not least on this list is number 4. It is the Visitor Center, because it really is. I actually stand corrected. It is the least. It's a year-round facility starting point with all cave tours, offering maps, books, and nature exhibits. That's funny. So this is Wind Cave, and they talk about the cave tours, but those 3 locations didn't have them. So I assume that those were mostly hiking trails. Those 2 out of 3 were hiking trails. I would bet one of them brings you to the cave itself. But guys, that's all I have for today. Quick video on Monday. I'll see you guys again on Tuesday. Bye.
Hey guys, so I'm making an omelet, which I thought I was videotaping, but I guess I wasn't. So I put cheese and these peppers in it that I had left over from a salad, and I used 2 eggs that I just whipped up in a bowl. So now it is cooking. I have to be careful because the edges are still wet, and you want to make sure that when you flip it, it's not going to be messy, which it doesn't really matter. It's not like it's not going to taste any bad. It's just going to be messy, like scrambled eggs. So, see how it still moves? So I'm just waiting for it to get a little bit more cooked on the sides. Okay, so hopefully it won't be long. I put a little salt and pepper on it for some flavor, but you could put salsa on it. Some people like salsa on their eggs. Some people like ketchup that you can put on afterwards. All right, now I'm going to flip it. Ooh. Look at that omelet. Now, you kind of have the... I always want to press down, but if I do that, all the stuff on the inside is going to come out. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to flip it again in a few minutes. So this is 2 eggs, and I think this is pretty big, 2 eggs. Like when you're mixing 2 eggs, sometimes you're like, that's not very much, if you're really hungry, but that's pretty good. There we go. Now you're talking. So yep, that's a great breakfast, snack, or lunch, or dinner even. Very healthy, you have lots of protein, and you get some veggies and cheese that you can use up that are in the fridge. You're not wasting them. And it's, like I said, very good for you. So I'm just finishing it up because I want to make sure the insides are cooked. Oh, some of those peppers look like broccoli. Some people put broccoli in it too. That would be yummy, huh? Whatever you have in the fridge that's left over, veggies. Okay, let's try that again. All right. There you go. You have your omelet. Have a nice day.
Hello, Gators! Welcome back to Language in Play. Well, this week we are going to be turning our superhero for a day into a scene. So you've written your monologue about your superhero. All right, that's what you guys videoed on Flipgrid on Friday. What we're going to be doing this week is we're going to be taking that same character and turning it into a little mini play, a one-scene play. All right, and this one scene is going to have the climax. It's going to have everything involved. All right, so one scene. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little warm-up, and then I'm going to talk about how we break down a scene. All right, so let's start off with a vocal warm-up. Red leather, yellow leather. All right, really feel it in your face, remember? Here we go. Red leather, yellow leather. 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 Notice how when I go red, my face opens way up, and then yellow leather. It starts to collapse. All right, so you're working the muscle memory of your face. One more time. Here we go. Ready? Red leather, yellow leather. 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 All right, good. Try that a few more times on your own. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking our scene. All right, so take your superhero. Remember, it was a hero for a day. It didn't have to have superpowers, but it had to have hero qualities. And what we're going to do is now we're going to take whatever problem that hero had to overcome that day and turn it into a scene, which means we're going to have to create characters that can build upon that hero scene. All right? So we are going to need a protagonist, which is going to be your hero, and we're going to need people who are helping that protagonist. You're also going to need an antagonist, okay? The problem needs to be caused by someone or something. That is going to be the antagonist of our scene. All right? Also, people and things that help the antagonist. So overall, you're going to have probably maybe 6 to 8 characters total in your scene. All right? I'm not going to make you do a character profile for every character. You did your hero. That's enough for now. All right? But what I want you to do is outline your scene. All right? I'm in your Google Drives. I put the dramatic arc in the Google Drive just to remind you of how a scene works, right? It starts off with exposition. What is happening? Who are these characters? Then you have the rising action. It starts to go up a little bit, right? Once you get to that rising action, it leads up to the climax. Then you have your falling action, and then your resolution flattens the curve at the end. All right? So I really want to see you guys put some effort into your outline, come up with a storyline, and then tomorrow we're going to talk about how to add that storyline into dialogue. All right? Can't wait to see what you come up with, Gators. Great job.
Hi guys. Okay, I'm ready to start painting my rock. So last time I showed you how to just draw something onto the rock. You want to have some kind of an image in mind whether it's from on your computer or a phone that you're looking at, or you have an actual image, or if you're just kind of, you know, thinking about it in your mind, that's fine. So you just want to make sure that you're drawing your picture onto your rock, or if you don't have a rock, just make a sketch so I can see that you're actually making a drawing of an animal on a sketch, so that when you do get your rock, you'll be all set to go. So don't stress if you don't have a rock. So I'm going to be painting. I'm using those paints that I showed you before. This one's called Apple Barrel. And some of the other ones that I have, let's see, are called Craft Smart. All right, so those are some good ones. They're acrylic paint, which will not wash off. So I'm going to start on the eyes of my cat first. So I got some colors ready. I got yellow and white ready, and I also got some purple. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of mixing some yellow with a little bit of white. I want to create the illusion of a real eye, and I want it to look like it has a little form to it, like an eyeball, so it's not flat. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to apply a layer of some light yellow. So I mixed up that light yellow, and I'm going to start by, I'm just going to paint over the whole thing, but I can go ahead later and add that little pupil, the little black part of the eye in the center, right, the pupil. We'll add that later. So I'm just going to add a layer of some lighter yellow first. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do with that purple paint. You might be wondering why I'm going to use purple for this eye. So, just going to add that light layer of yellow first. And I'm just using a kind of a teeny brush so I can get into some smaller spaces of my drawing. I might need a smaller brush, but I might have like a larger brush nearby too, just in case. But for now, I'm just using a little brush that's about that size. You can see. All right, so I'm starting off with my layer of a light yellow that I mixed a lot of white with, okay? So now you might be still wondering, well, what am I going to do with that purple? So I'm going to put a little tiny bit of purple, just a tiny bit of purple on my brush. And when I make these eyes, I want it to appear to have a little bit of a shadow on the top of the eye, and then it's going to be lighter underneath. I usually do that with the eyes when I make these cat's eyes. This one I did a little bit of green on the top, and then I did some lighter yellow on the bottom, just to give that look of having like some round form to the eye. This one I did it a little bit too. You can kind of see like a little bit of a darker yellow color on the tops, and then it's lighter yellow on the bottom. Just makes it look a little bit more realistic, and it creates that look of some dimension or some form to the eye. All right, so I'm going to take that purple right now, and I'm actually going to add purple to where I want it to be dark. Purple is a complementary color to yellow, so it's across from the color wheel from yellow. So it means it's the complementary color of yellow, and it kind of cancels out the color of yellow and almost dulls it a little bit, but that's okay right now. I don't want to add black or brown to create the shadow or the darker value of yellow. Purple is going to be the best choice for this right now because it just kind of keeps the color interesting, and I think it looks nicer than adding like a black paint might change the yellow a little bit. So I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this purple to create the shadow on the eye and the darker value. So it's still going to kind of give it that look of adding a little bit of black or adding just like a gray. But I don't want to add gray because that will just kind of dull it too much. So this purple just gives it a little bit of color that we want. And it also makes the eye appear to be a little bit more rounded, if you will. Oh, my cat is coming. I forgot to close the door, and there's my cat. I think she's looking for her rock, because this is the cat that I painted. She's coming to see her rock. So, I think I'm starting to like the look of these eyes with this little purple and yellow combination. I'm going to go back and add a tiny little bit more of the light yellow. but it's just a little trick. So you don't have to use gray or anything like that to make a shadow when you're painting. Here's my cat again. All right. All right, guys. I'm going to stop right there for now. And next time we'll add a little more detail to the eye. We'll add the black pupils and we'll add a tiny little white highlight. So if you look at these, some of my finished rocks, you can see all the detail that I put into the eyes. So I did the same thing with these eyes. I did the light yellow on the bottom, and then I added a little bit of purple instead of gray or a black color. I added a little bit of purple to make it appear to have a little bit of a darker value on the top and a shadow. Then I add the black pupils, and that little touch of white gives the illusion of the eye being, you know, like wet, like your eye is wet. Okay, so that little white dot makes the eye look shiny and kind of wet. So we'll do that next time. All right, guys? I hope you're having fun. See you next time.
Thanks for watching Enrichment TV, Gators. Remember, work hard, be nice, and we'll see you tomorrow.